So let's go live. Going live. You're live. Hello everyone. I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Kina Bridge of Spirits, Kina Bridge of Spirits on the GTX 1050 Ti, 570, 1650 Super, and 750 Ti. How are you guys doing? Thanks to Ember Lab for providing a code for the game. So it released around 12 hours ago, so here we are trying it out. It's a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 and PC game, Unreal Engine 4, so yet another Unreal Engine 4 game. How are you guys doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, again, yet another Unreal Engine 4 game. So, advanced graphics, everything you would expect is here for an Unreal Engine 4 game. Hey guys, hello guys, welcome. Thank you for being here. So, apparently super demanding, but it looks good as well, so we'll see how it goes. Let's put it on Ultra first. I only lowered those textures to high, and I put it on DX12. So let's start from there, and then we start tweaking the game. So let's go. I'm going to be using a controller, so keep that in mind. Let's do the spirit guide. So there's some battle. I paused my game to watch the stream. Well, thanks, Just Pop Games. Happy to be that guy. Adjust the slider until the symbol is barely visible. I cannot see the symbol. Okay, whatever. Already on the menu was 20 frames. I mean, I'm not expecting ultra settings in an Unreal Engine 4 game. On a new Unreal Engine 4 game on a 1050 Ti. So yeah, it's not going to be great until we tweak it. I will also like to see an Xbox. It's not an Xbox. It's a PS4, PS5, and a PC game. Exclusive to the Epic Games Store, which is unfortunate for us PC users. But hey, what can you do? At least it's on PC. Alright. I cannot skip the cutscene apparently. But this is being rendered in real time actually. Interesting. So this is a cutscene but rendered in real time. Cool. Yeah, the game looks pretty good, actually. Okay, we're already into the game. Nice. So over 30 frames at the moment. Remember, this is the very beginning, so it's probably going to get worse as we get outside, but visually it looks pretty good. Yeah, and the stuff generates shadows. Give me daytime. It's probably coming to Steam later, who knows. I mean, if it's like every other game that was exclusive to the Epic Games Store, then it's probably coming to Steam in about a year. Okay, there's double jump, and there's the classic UE4 stutter when an effect shows up for the first time. Okay, what now? Oh, okay. That's how I attack. Okay, where to? Okay, there we go. I got it, I got it. It has a bit feeling of Beyond Good and Evil. Well, Beyond Good and Evil has a pretty... Well, it's a third-person, where you see your character game. An adventure game. So it kind of makes sense. I'm sorry guys, I think... Oh, I can skip cutscenes, never mind. So I have to fight? Hell yeah, I'm fighting. Right bumper for light attack, right trigger for heavy attack. Gotcha. Okay, pretty fluid combat despite being at 30 frames. But again, the Unreal Engine 4 classic effect shows up for the first time, you get a stutter. Although here it's not as bad as other Unreal Engine 4 games so far. Only an Epic too bad, yeah, agreed. But visually it's pretty impressive. pretty surprised with the visuals. Although again, this is indoors, so outdoors is probably going to be way more demanding. This is just the beginning. And there's no music because I cover myself from copyright, you know how it goes. YouTube is never safe with music. Do you have another card? Yeah, I have more cards, but I gotta wait. Okay, hang on, I'm missing the song from my island, Bali. What do you mean? The music from the game? I believe if a man has so many graphics cards, he is rich. I'm not. I got them when they were cheap. So I was lucky, actually. Not rich. I wish I was rich. I could buy every graphics card on every console and test them out on the channel. But unfortunately, I'm not there yet. I need to find another job to do so. Which hopefully happens soon, I'm guessing. Okay, hang on. I have one lamp left. People are talking that DX11 is stable. Okay, I'm going to try DX11 in a second. The main issue with DX11 though, when swapping, is that I need to restart the game. But I've seen that it's a couple frames ahead on DX11, so yeah. Yeah, let's do DX11 super quick. Let me save the progress first. I don't want to do it all over again. DX11. I'm gonna restart. So, we quit out the game. And we jump back in. 1050 Ti Ultra 1080p in 2021. Am I in a different dimension? No, you're in the tutorial, man. You're in the tutorial. Lower fog setting. Yeah, we're tweaking it once we get into the open location. Right now, we're just at the very beginning of the game, which I don't usually take as final numbers. Okay, now DX11. Let's continue our progress. Yeah, too bad this isn't on Xbox. Yeah, maybe it's coming in the future, who knows. Okay, DX11. Yeah, no, on DX11 I get more stutter so far. Oh, never mind, it's stabilized. Yeah, but the frame rate is almost the same as the X12, at least here. So yeah. Let's go. In Game Pass? No, it's not even on Xbox. I wish it was. It would have been fun to test it on Series S. Okay, yeah, here we come. This is the demanding part. Come on, let's go into the open world. Give me those 20 frames on ultra settings. Okay, let's do some tweaks. So, first tweaks, DX11, Unreal Engine 4. The rot, this is something that people told me that as time goes on in the game, there's more on the screen, so I'll keep that on medium. That fulfilled, I usually like to keep it on cutscenes, so we keep it on limited. Motion blur, let's put it disabled, personal preference. Volumetrics, some of you guys told me that this is a huge hit in this game, so we put it on medium. And some of you told me that shadows on high was a big boost. And foliage, yeah, let's put everything on high. Medium volumetrics, and that should be. So 1080p high. Medium volumetrics. And shadows. So let's put it like that. Medium volumetrics and shadows, and let's see how it goes. This, I'm guessing, should give us constant 30 frames, or at least over 30 all the time. Let's see. And I forgot to start recording, my bad, hang on. There we go. So 1080p, and everything like it is here. And this run benchmark option doesn't, it just checks automatically for which settings your PC should do. Broken option is not a benchmark tool. Okay, 40s, not bad. I want to crank up those shadows, definitely. So let's do that. High settings, medium volumetrics. Yeah, that should do. Let's see. So on the 1050 Ti you can do, okay, this I think is a good balance. This is high settings, medium volumetrics, the game still looks good. we get over 30 frames. Let's see if that stays over 30 all the time. And then we're going to try going lower. I'm guessing 60 frames on 1080p won't be possible on this card. I mean, it's a 1050 Ti. But we'll see. Left bumper to integrate with Rust Wisp. So this is what I was talking about. The more you advance in the game, more of these will be on the screen, following you. So yeah. That's why I put that on medium. Just lock it to 30. Yeah, that will be my recommendation, honestly. Double jump, love that. Is AMD 580 8GB MSI card in good 2021? Yeah, it should be easily over 40 with these settings. This game is... yeah, FSR on this game will be amazing. I mean, there's ways to do FSR outside of the game itself, but I'm going to test that later. There's a lot of testing I need to do for that. But as you can see, the frame time is pretty spiky. Not sure if it's a DX11 issue. So looking at these plants over here, this tree, I'm getting 32 frames. Let's do DX12 to see if the stutter gets fixed. So 3GB of VRAM used. Let's restart once more. Why does 30 on PC when locked looks less smooth than 30 on the console? That's your brain. Because on the consoles there is constant 30 with good frame pacing. You can do that on PC using Revat Tuner. Just lock it to 30 like that, use a controller, and it's the same as on consoles. You just gotta do more work to achieve those results on PC. On the console, it's done by the developer. On PC, you gotta do it yourself. So that's kind of the issue. Okay. Let's see, 32 when looking at the tree. Yeah, it runs almost the same on the X12. Maybe one frame behind. So let's keep it on the X12. I think that would be better. Probably for the CPU it will be better. Weird graphic, half cartoon, half realistic. Yeah, I like the aesthetic so far. I like that it's not completely cartoon, but not completely realistic. It's a good blend between them. We're planning on buying a PS5, hopefully one day. I'm looking for a job, another job. So if I get it and everything goes fine and I have enough time to do what I do, I might be able to get a PS5 and a Series X. I have a Series S at the moment, but if I get a PS5 it will be a all digital edition. I mean, in my country, why buy discs? I have a good connection. Kind of a waste. So yeah, I might get a PS5 in the future, who knows. Now that I can do console FPS testing, it will be cool to try it out. Is it well optimized? It depends. It depends on what your brain thinks optimized means. I mean, visually I think it's pretty advanced. And it's an Unreal Engine 4 game with good bells and whistles. So I was kind of expecting these numbers on the 1050 Ti. Although those spikes in the frame time happen on both DX11 and 12, so not sure what I should do with those. At least right now. Anyway, let's try lowering the settings to the lowest. Let's see if we can get 60 frames in any meaningful way. So low, 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 low. Just to check that out. Okay, the only thing that we keep on high are those textures. But I'm guessing this will be a 720p 60 game. For what I'm seeing here. So 1080p low. And let's see how it goes. Yeah, no, you're not getting 60s on this game on 1080p. Maybe on 900p, but on 1080p, I mean, why destroy the aesthetic of the game? This is a game where I will just push the graphics more than anything. But it still looks pretty good on low, not gonna lie. The game still holds up on low. Although I can notice the lack of ambient occlusion. Yeah, those rocks down there. But the game's still attractive in low settings, actually. Pretty surprised with that. Then the 60 frames thing, probably for 900p, I would say. But it seems to still have... Yes, this has screen space reflections on low. That's pretty interesting. Yeah. More rot found. Alright. So for 1080p, let me show you again. My settings would be like this. Visible rot on medium. Limited depth of field, that's personal preference, of course. Volumetric fog on medium. Ambient occlusion on high. Post-process on high. Textures on high. Foliage on high. And shadows on high. Let's see more into the game what happens. But overall, I think these are good. The game looks pretty good. Like this. And I will lock it to 30 with Riva Tuner, so let me show you that super quick. So we open the software here. So zoom it in. Frame rate limit 30, like that. Then you go into the game. And you should enable VSync there. And let's see if we can get lock 30s. So this is 1080p high. 1080p high. Medium volumetrics. Plus 30 FPS cap. Riva Tuner. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. This will be my best settings for the 1050 Ti. High settings, medium volumetrics, 30 frames cap with Riva Tuner, and as you can see, 30 frames locked, 33.3 milliseconds. Butter smooth, in my opinion at least. So yeah, this will be my ideal settings. Todavía no hicimos la 750 Ti, vamos a hacerla después de esto. Más adelante. But let's see once we get more into the game. People are saying it's more demanding halfway through due to the rot amount. So same as PS4. I don't know what the PS4 is doing with the settings and resolution, but I'm guessing this will be PS4 experience, yeah. Maybe a little bit higher than PS4, I'm guessing. Yeah, like this I think is pretty consistent. You get smooth 30, well, lock 30 frames. Maybe enable motion blur. At 30 frames motion blur kinda makes sense for me. So we put motion blur on high. Okay, now we're on the PS4 experience, maybe. A little bit higher than PS4 probably. I'm guessing. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but yeah, 1080p 30. Pretty good settings, the game looks pretty good. And it's a 1050 Ti, I mean, I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting less frames, honestly, on a 1050 Ti on an Unreal Engine 4 game. On a modern Unreal Engine 4 game. Yeah, the in-game FPS limit is inconsistent. Yeah, that happens across the board on many PC games. That's why I use Riva Tuner and I specify. Okay, let's see where to. I need to find more places. ¿Para qué los bloqueo a 30? Para que sea consistente. Eso es todo. Yeah, guys, I look at the 30 so it's more consistent. This game has pretty inconsistent. Let me show you that. If I unlock the frame rate, this happens. If I unlock the frame rate, it goes like that. So the frame time has spikes. So it doesn't feel as consistent. So no, it's not possible to get 60s on low on 1080p. Okay, I didn't pick you up. I got lost. So yeah, You need to fight. Yeah, I'm going into that. Oh, I need to fight. Oh, so I need to attack right away. Okay. So yeah, this is why I lock it to 30. Look at that frame time. Just lock it to 30. Oh, okay. I cannot attack this, but I can take damage. That's a plus. Oh yeah, the main performance hit should come later. Okay, so I opened that up. But I feel like an idiot. Because I do not know where to go. What am I now? A gaming journalist? Yeah, I opened this up. Maybe up here? No. Don't open that door! Yeah, it does feel like 30 frames on the console because I locked it with Reva Tuner. Road to Gandalf. Yeah, still looking. Oh, the game does look pretty good. Not gonna lie. Visuals are good. Some kind of abandoned destroyed structure like a house. Gotcha. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, I've already been in there. Up the hill to find another black furry. Gotcha. Okay, I came that way. Yeah, it does feel smooth. At 30 frames locked like this, with Reva Tuner, it does feel smooth. Yeah, I think there's one I couldn't pick up. What's this way? Yeah, here. But I cannot pick him up. Come with me, please. I need you. Use NVIDIA Half Sync. No, NVIDIA Half Sync has a lot of latency. Screw that. Screw NVIDIA Half Sync. No, use Reva Tuner, use a VSync, a mix of those, and you should be good to go. Adaptive VSync. Let me reload the previous save. Yeah, it does feel good. Good to play so far. So I go up the hill, destroyed house, went past that. The backflip, yeah, the backflip. Well, in the meantime, let's try getting 60s or 900p. So we go back to 900p now. If not, I'm going to take forever doing this. So yeah, let's do 900p, shall we? So 900p. And let's do... Yeah, let's keep it on the same. Let's put it on low first. Let's see if we can get 60 frames. So 900p low. Everything on low now. Except textures. We have enough VRAM for that. Okay. So 900p low. We seem to be getting 60s. The game still looks pretty good. Again, pretty impressed with low settings in this game, how it looks. And here it seems to be 60. So yeah, good stuff. Go back later and search. Okay. Sure thing, mister. Gotcha, buddy. There we go. So I missed that one. That was why. Interesting. Yeah, I missed one. That's why I couldn't advance. I missed one rot. Your Zing companions has grown and you now have one rod action available. Okay. Nice. But let's see once we get into, again, the more open location. This is probably easy to run. Let's find out. But again, to be low settings, pretty impressed. Visually, they did a good job with low settings. Dang, destroyed. Let's continue. This on Game Pass? No, this game is only available on PS5, PS4 and the Epic Game Store. Hopefully in the future we get a Steam release, probably in a year from now we're getting one. But as of right now, Epic exclusive and PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. But it's an Unreal Engine 4 game, so I was expecting worse numbers. Worse numbers, honestly. And on low settings, the game does hold up. At least in my opinion. The rods are scared and have gone into hiding. Attack enemies to build courage. Okay. Okay, even with effects on screen, I'm getting 60s at 900p low. The rods are ready. Pulse! Destroy that heart! Whoa. Gone, reduced to atoms. Anybody else? Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2 remake coming to Steam soon, hopefully. We'll see. It's probably doing that. I mean, Activision loves money.
Over there.
Rock can move certain objects in the environment. Okay. So I can tell them, hey, move that object over there. That's so cute, holy hell. Cutest game ever, 11 out of 10. Okay, up there. Gotcha. Don't you think Epic Games exclusively is anti-consumer? I mean, if it's coming to Steam later, it's fine. I don't like the precedent it keeps the industry in. But eventually Epic is going to run out of money, so I don't know. I just do not like that they force you to buy it on their platform, but they need a reason for people to go there apart from free games. So they force you to buy it on their store.
Can you pick that up?
I mean, they're bleeding money like crazy, but Fortnite gives them so much cash that they can just do it if they want to. I don't like it, but hey, what can you do? Is weapon scepter or lance? Seems to be a scepter, like a staff. Okay, here it's dropping some frames. Okay, boss battle. Why do I hear boss music?
Let me help you.
Yeah, you don't need to buy it if you don't want to. I mean, if you want to play it on day one, it's forcing you to buy it on that platform. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, yeah, in this combat part, We're dropping into the upper 40s. Yeah, when he's attacking me. Let's go back to 1080. That will be interesting. Now that there's a more demanding place. So we put it on high settings again. But we're lowering the fog to medium. And if that's not enough, we're doing different settings. So 1080p high. Let's see if the best settings hold up. You are Groot. Yes, you are. Okay. Yeah, when I'm using the shield, it drops. When I cover. So yeah, we're a couple frames behind 1080, behind 30 frames. So yeah, effects seems to be the reason. Let's see if I can fix that with DX11. So DX11. Let's try it. Yeah, the chromatic aberration is dreadful. You can disable it in a config file, but I'm not doing that now because it requires a little bit of investigation to get that right. So I might be doing a guide on how to do that. Oh yeah, it bothers me when they force chromatic aberration and it's not in the menu. Yeah, FSR would be nice. Okay, DX11, let's see how it holds up. If it's 30 frames. When I block.
Let me help you.
Okay, let's block. Okay, yeah, DX11 for the win. I think, yeah, over 30 now. So being a couple frames ahead on DX11 does help us. And the frame times aren't consistent like on DX12. Although on DX11 it seems to be a little more jittery with the frame times. Whoa. Kill him! There we go. Dead, reduced to atoms. You can parry. Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind for next time. Yeah, on the 1050 Ti at least, DX11 seems to be the way to go. Is it fun to play? So far I like the combat, yeah. Pretty cool.
If you want to get to the mountain, our brother Charles was
Yeah, we skip everything.
Help us free Charles and we'll take you.
Yeah, let's go.
Come on.
I actually think Epic is doing good for the industry and creating competition. Well, yeah. I like that developers now have money. Okay, now makes sense. More open. This reminds me of the start of Breath of the Wild. That you take a look at the map. Let's see it. Yeah, the classic Breath of the Wild intro. Well, Breath of the Wild. It comes in other games as well. I just reminded that because I played it yesterday. Alright. Moment of truth. Yeah, this is way more open than the first level, which makes sense. But it still holds up. On the performance side, I mean. Well, I killed her. Oh no. I thought there was no fall damage. So yeah, for the 1050 Ti, 1080p high settings, medium volumetrics seems to be the way to go. Although the stutter, pretty noticeable. Not gonna lie. So to fix that again, lock it to 30, in this case in particular. Locking it to 30 should do the job. So yeah, rusty pepperonis. Yeah, I dropped there in a couple seconds. Okay, the village. Let me save the progress. I'm probably doing the benchmarks here. Alright. Yeah, look at that frame time. Holy hell. If I log into 30, what happens? Yeah, if I log into 30, it's fine. A few spikes, but way more consistent. So if you can log it to 30, do it. With Riva Turner. You do get some spikes here and there, but nothing like unlocked that does spikes everywhere. Do you know what game engine is this on? Yeah, this is Unreal Engine 4. The classic. The one that everybody uses nowadays. So yeah, now we're doing 900p. 1080p was good, not gonna lie. I was expecting way worse from an Unreal Engine 4 game. From a modern Unreal Engine 4 game. So now we're doing 900p. Let's do high first. And rots on medium. So 900p high. And if need to be, we lower the settings a bit more. So 900p high. Let's get that out of the way. As you can see, everything on high, rot on medium, but 900p nonetheless. Okay, 30 frames in the open location. That's good. But again, the frame times, just lock it to 30. Do yourself a favor. Looks and plays better on PS5. I mean, of course it does. Nobody was saying the opposite. I mean, the 1050 Ti cannot compete against a PS5. And it was never made with that in mind. It's an old card already. Oh yeah, of course it will play better on PS5. But that stutter, yeah, that's what bothers me. If you don't lock it to 30, well, just have fun with the stutter. Lock it to 30 or 60. When we're targeting 60, we're locking it to that number. Oh, there you are. We'll do performance tests for Lost Judgment on Series S and 1S, probably, if I get enough time. We're doing that as well. But for now, I'm focusing on other games. Alright, where else? Oh, there you are. Better than PS4? Yeah, I guess so. It probably is on par. Maybe a little bit higher. But I don't know exactly what settings the PS4 uses. It's probably 1080p though. On the base PS4. How's the game? Pretty good so far. Visually pretty attractive. And it runs, well, the frame times are super inconsistent. So again, lock it to 30 if you're aiming for 60 frames. Unlocked, upgrade available. Parry counter. Additional karma required. So as I was saying, the frame time's super inconsistent, but if you lock it to 30 with Riva Turner, let me show you that super quick. If you lock it to 30 like that, as you can see, the frame times are fine. So again, if you want to use high settings, it can be fine. Just lock it to 30 for the frame times to be a flat 33.3 milliseconds. And you should be good to go. Some spikes here and there, but nothing, again, nothing like unlocking the frame rate. When it's unlocked, well, good luck. Look at those frame times. Yeah, not good. So yeah, lock it to 30, like that. With Riva Turner. Anyway, let's now do low settings Probably not 60s on 900p, but hey, gotta try it out. So low settings, 900p. So 900p low, and as you can see, yeah, not getting 60 frames. Like on the first level. So yeah, for 60 frames, probably 720p is the answer. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather play on high settings at 30 frames. Although on low settings, it does hold up pretty well visually. Let's go back to the previous save I made. So we can do the battle all over again. PS4 is 65%. Yeah, there is no exact number. If you try to put a number on it, it's probably a wild guess or something that doesn't know what they're talking about. So yeah, as you can see here when fighting, attack me. Oh, not like that. So yeah, not 60, especially when effects show up. But if you want to lower the settings to low, lower the settings to low. So yeah, 900p, I would say put it on high, lock it to 30, have fun. Let's now go for 720. On 720, I'm going to be using the ideal settings, which are high settings, medium volumetrics. At 720p, that should do 60 frames, I'm guessing. Hopefully, I'm right. Let's see. For the price, look it up. There's a link in the description. Google is your friend, mate. So 720p high. So 720. 720p high. Mid volumetrics. And we're locking it to 60 probably. So 1 sec. Rev a tenor. So we zoom in, lock it to 60, and let's try it again. So, 720, high settings, medium volumetrics, medium visible rot, and that should do. Let's see. Okay, still not 60. Let's tweak it more then. Low volumetrics, medium shadows. Okay, that improved things a little bit. Still not 60. Ambient occlusion, post-process, foliage. So, medium settings, low volumetrics now. Okay. Better than nothing. Yeah, still not enough though. Yeah, let's put it on low right away. I'm not even wasting my time anymore on that. Yeah, 60 frames, 720p low. So we're going to do 720p ultra after this, but as it stands, 720p low is how you get 60s on this game, on demanding parts. At least on the 750 Ti, on the 1050 Ti. Although we seem to be CPU limited. The GPU is not being used at its maximum potential. Yeah, and man, that stutter, holy hell. But combat feels fluid, at the very least. Although it doesn't feel bad at 30 frames either. This game actually feels good at 30, maybe because I'm using a controller, but... I prefer 1080p 30, same. I'd rather have more pixels, in this particular case. Yeah, I'd rather have stable 30, personally, in this case in particular. If it was a first-person shooter, well, I will probably aim for 60 right away. DX12 runs a lot better on your 1060. Okay, I'm going to check that out. Let's check out DX12. I forgot about that. So DX12, we restart the game. Thanks for reminding me. I forgot DX12 was a thing in the game. As long as the Switch exists, 30 frames is still going to be an option for games. Yeah. And as long as PC exists, 15 FPS locked are an option as well. Okay, let's try the X12. Thanks guys for reminding me once more. I tend to forget. So we'll load that save. Okay, the frame times on the X12 appear to be a lot better. Yeah, guys, use the X12. Unless you're doing 30 frames. If you're doing 30 frames, use the X11. If you're doing anything higher than 30, do the X12. Less stutter, without a doubt. Yeah, way more stable on the X12. So it seems to be affecting the CPU less on the X12. It's more GPU bound. So again, if you're going for more than 30, the X12. If you're going for 30, the X11, so you help your GPU get to that target 30 frames. So yeah. Anyway. But as it stands, 720p low seems to be the closest you can get to that 60 frames, which is not something I particularly care about in this game. 30 frames here feels okay. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it, honestly. Is Uncharted 4 30 frames? Yes, it is. And that's a shooter. But defeating corrupted enemies will have from the upgrade menu. Gotcha. Yeah, here we're still dropping into the 40s. Let's do 720p Ultra, just to give that a shot. So everything cranked up. Except in those textures. I'm good with high textures. Okay. So 720p Ultra. And as I said before, if you're doing 30 frames, use the X11. It'll give you a couple extra frames. But if you want all the eye candy, you need 720 for ultra settings on the 1050 Ti. I mean, I'm not asking for much. This is a 1050 Ti. I mean, to be expected. Although it's pretty easy to tweak to get 30 frames on 1080p, well, the game still looks pretty good. Do you like Detroit Become Human? Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, as you can see here, dropping below 30. Again, use the X11 and you should be fixing that issue.
Look after.
Or, if you don't want to do the X11, put volumetrics on medium.
Benny and Saya.
And there you go, back into the 30s.
Fate will be difficult for them to understand.
So yeah. So yeah, pretty easy to tweak, I would say. There's 2 or 3 options that matter, the other ones, not so much. And yeah, definitely for 30 frames, use the X11. The new standard of 90% of the games is that even on low, games look great. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this one is a good example of that thing being done right. On low settings, it still maintains the visual aesthetic. It doesn't get rid of shadows, it doesn't get rid of... Well, ambient occlusion does disappear in many surfaces. But the game does hold up pretty well on low. Visuals are still good. And usually on Unreal Engine 4 games, that's not the case. Usually on other Unreal games, you need to either disable the shadows... Oh, dead. Reduced to atoms. So in most Unreal Engine 4 games that I try, you either need to wreck the visual aesthetic of the game or get low frame rates. Well, here he appears to be doing it just fine. Even on low, the game looks good. I don't play games anymore, I just tamper with settings all day. That's basically me. That's why I do these videos. Anyway. So very quickly, I'll show you the settings I recommend. One last time. Volumetric fog on medium. And the rest on high. Visible ROT on medium as well. And that for 1080p should give you 30 frames on the X11, not on the X12. So yeah, these are the settings. But on the X11, I'll lock to 30 frames. The X11 here will give you the couple extra frames you need. And you'll be good to go. Anyway, time to do the 570. So let's get out of the game. And launch it on the other card. We're going to start with 1080p. Let's do the ideal settings on the 570 right away. So 1080p high, mid volumetrics. And we should be good. So here we are back in the studio. Let's swap GPUs. I used to waste time overclocking my PC as much as possible. Same. Those 2 extra frames took me 5 days, but those are 2 extra frames are more crashes. 570, here we are. It's fun to tinker with your hardware on PC. That's kind of the point. Which is not a bad thing. You learn a lot. Sometimes it ruins your experience on other devices because you cannot tamper with them. So yeah, any stutter issue, yeah, there's a lot of stutter. But if you lock the frame rate to 30, it's fine. If you want to do 60s, the X12 is recommended. So yeah. Hang on, I gotta install those drivers. Give me 1 sec. Be right back with you guys. New streaming room, yeah, we built a studio. So we can only do YouTube in here. And then on my room I just sleep. I don't do anything else. That's kind of the objective. Hope better performance on the 570. Yeah, the 570 is going to be faster probably. Well, it's an Unreal Engine 4 game. Maybe. Yeah, but it should be faster right away. So we're installing those drivers on the 570. Wish me luck that everything goes right. How high is your table? Higher than my cousin on the weekends. Do you recommend using MacPy to emulate FSR on games that don't have support? I haven't tried it yet. Saludos Nico Farfán, desde el otro lado del charco. Then you don't spend any more time in your room. I don't. I'm sleep deprived. Please help. Better the X12 too. Yeah, the X12 in this case helps the CPU tremendously. So if you're aiming for 60, do the X12 without a doubt. It uses more GPU, a little bit more GPU, but the CPU benefits are there. It's noticeable. Oddly specific Santiago, yeah, that's me. Oddly specific. I think the best option for gaming is the Series S. Yeah, but this game is not on Series S, so that's not a good point at the moment. I mean, price-wise, yeah, it's great for the price, but this game in particular is not on that platform. Llegaste justo a tiempo para la 570, sí. 21.9.2 salió. Ah, ok. Gracias, Jorge. Se agradece. So, guys, somebody's telling me that there's a new driver update, 21.9.2. We're updating to that right now. So, give me 1 sec. I gotta update my drivers. Classic PC gaming stuff. So, I connect now the computer to the internet. Okay, so let's update the drivers again to the latest ones. So we update the drivers. Here we go, updating drivers. Sorry, I'm late. How does it run on the 1050 Ti? You can do 1080p 30 on a mix between medium and high on the X11 with a 30 frames cap. The game looks good, plays good. Some drops here and there, but pretty solid, pretty solid. And visually it holds up even on the lowest settings if you want to go lower. Okay, here we go. Nico, soy de Uruguay. Así que andás acá cerca. Okay, updating the drivers. Here we go. Sorry for this, guys. I forgot to install the drivers before the live stream. So yeah. ¿Qué dice Alejo Jet? ¿Todo bien? That was fast. Yeah, it is. I pay for fast internet to be able to do that. I need to download stuff fast for the live streams, for all that good stuff. Yeah, my internet, is 500 megabits per second download and 50 megabits per second upload, which translates in around 55 megabytes per second download. Sometimes it hits 60. And for big games, when they release, if I don't get a review copy or something and I cannot preload, I need to download fast. So if I download at 500 megabits, I get the 100 gigabyte games in around an hour, so pretty quick. So I can do the live streams as fast as possible. Yeah, close. Okay, let's restart. At 1050 Ti, my country is like 4 times the price before the shortage. Same here. Pretty unfortunate, but hey, what can you do? Por ahora Eric me está gustando, la verdad. Saludos a Chile ahí. Pero sí. Lo sabías, Nico. Bueno, genial. So, somebody's asking for my opinion of the game. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. The combat is pretty smooth. Feels good to control on the controller. So it doesn't feel choppy on the animation. Pretty good looking, even on low settings. So they did a good balance there. So far, first impressions are good. Feels like a game that I would have played on my childhood. It's like Crash Bandicoot, but I can move my camera to more places and I have combat. Yeah, it's like a game I would have played when I was a kid. So I'm liking it, actually. Okay. How old is the 1050 Ti? 4 or 5 years? Yeah, something like that. Okay, we're on the latest drivers, and I'm going to do some tweaks for my capture card. The GPU scaling is on. What else? Virtual super resolution. Let's not touch that for now. Well, maybe for 1440p would be nice. Depends on the performance. Limited RGB because my capture card requires that for good performance. What am I missing? Oh, yeah. On graphics, I enable enhanced sync, which is like the fast sync on the NVIDIA control panel, just for you guys to not see the screen tearing. And that should do. Let's launch the game. Is 1660 Super survive for the next 5 years? 5 years is a long time. On 5 years, we might be getting a PS6. So yeah, for now it's fine. Maybe a couple more years, 3 years maybe, max. But we cannot really know for sure. Can't you just start with default setting? No, we're not. Maybe Ultra, but I want to try the ideal settings because we already know how to tweak the game. Yeah, let's do... Okay, I'll run the benchmark. So, the benchmark says that we should play on Ultra. Yeah, I don't trust the benchmark. Let's put it on high. Okay, we start with Ultra. You convinced me. So, Ultra, 1080p on the 570. But I lowered those textures, as usual. And hang on, my controller doesn't seem to be connected. Let me check. In the meantime, those are the settings. And we're doing the X12 on the 570 for now. Reload the save. What kind of benchmark runs so fast? None. It just, I don't know what it's doing, but it detects our graphics card and it says, oh, okay, this should be the settings that you're going to be using. So yeah, pretty unreliable source. But what can you do? Come on, controller. There we go. Okay, 30 frames per second on Ultra. Not bad, 570. You still got it in you. Although it's probably going to drop below 30 in this fight coming up. But I want to try DX11. This is a good chance to try DX11. The 5 block is dropping, right? Okay, yeah, it's dropping into 20 something. But I mean, yeah, in this case, I think I'd rather lower the settings a little bit. 30 seems to be pretty easy. And I'm on the highest settings, guys. I mean, nice. Nice. Shadows on high, volumetrics on medium, and that's probably it. I don't need to lower more, I think, for 30 frames. So maybe this is, yeah, high shadows, mid volumetrics. That's probably enough to get 30s, actually. If that's the case, the 570 is so much faster. It's ridiculous. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, I did those tweaks and I'm over 30 all the time. So the 570 is a pretty easy game to run, I would say. Although the stutter, it happens like other Unreal Engine 4 games. So yeah, good stuff. Well done, 570. Motion blur. Yeah, I'm turning it on at the moment because I'm aiming for 30 frames. But so far so good. Runs great in the 570. In comparison to the 1050 Ti, it's much smoother on the 570. We're disabling motion blur for the 60 frames target. Because if you're not aiming for 30 frames locked, the game kinda drops. 1060 is better than 570. Yeah, in general it is. On these games, this is an Unreal Engine 4 game, probably a little bit faster than the 1060. And you can use better textures. But that's basically it. So good job, 570. Still on the X12? Yeah, still on the X12. I think I'll stay on the X12 due to CPU limitations. On the X11, it stutters more, not gonna lie. Yeah, the 1060 is more like a 580. Depends on the game, of course. Oh yeah, running pretty well on the 570. Okay, so let me show you my recommended settings. Well, before that, actually, let's go to the lowest settings. Let's see if 60 is possible. It probably is, but hey. So low settings now. Let's see how it holds up. 1080p low. Okay, 1080p low. Let's reload that save file. Here we go. So let's fight once again the same enemy over and over. Hola Nutex, ¿todo bien? Still waiting for the 1650 Super. Yeah, we're doing that. No worries. On the 1650 Super, I'm guessing that 60 frames on 1080p is going to be possible. Because here we're pretty close. Whoa. Gone, reduced to atoms. So yeah, more like 50 frames on the 570 like this. But what bothers me here again, the frame times. The frame times are A spiky mess. Unless you lock your frame rate. Yeah, textures are on high, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't affect performance, only the VRAM usage. And the VRAM usage, completely fine. 3.6 gigs. So lowering the textures won't change anything in this case. Alright, let's play a little bit more. It kinda gets boring to do the same part over and over. But again, to me at least, visually low settings still looks good. But this is a game where I'll just prioritize the visuals over 60 frames per second. Just personal preference, of course. Okay, interesting. My 570 is dead under 70 Celsius all the time with 45% fan speed. Yeah, it all depends on multiple factors, the temperature. I can make it run cooler pretty easily actually because I know my graphics card. I can just go and undervolt it. Let's do that super quick. So I just lowered the voltage to 975, I think it was. Yeah, something like that. Hang on. 975. And lowering the voltage like that should drastically lower my temperature. I don't do that in general because people don't understand. But as you can see there, I dropped from the 70s to the mid 60s right away. So yeah, you can easily make temps better. What resolution? 1080p. Open the door! Yeah, it seems to be dropping mostly on cutscenes. So yeah, between 50 and 60, some drops into the 40s, but that's about it. When are you getting RTX cards? Hopefully soon. Not right now, but hopefully soon, once they lower in price. So yeah. Yeah, lowering the voltage can cause crashes with some games. Yeah, but I know that this voltage is stable. I tried it multiple times in the past. So this is a case where I already know the numbers because I tried it across a lot of games. Come on, attack. Is this game demanding? Yeah, it is. But at least it looks good. That's a that's an improvement. Gotta find the lowest stable voltage. Yeah, that's basically... In this case, I know what the lowest stable voltage is, so I have an advantage. But you need to test it quite a bit. I've been testing the 570 for a few years, so makes sense. Yeah, undervolting is god tier tweaking on PC. I rather undervolt than overclock, personally. Give me more stability, please. Oh, nice.
Whoa, look what happened to the rod.
Interesting.
Look at him go. Does he know any tricks, Kana?
Anyway. So, again, the issue here are the frame times. My advice would be lock it to 60 if you can get there consistently. So let's try 900p. Let's see if it does 60 on low settings. So 900p low. Let's see if 60 is possible. Probably yes, I'm guessing. 900p. Let's see here. Okay, 900p low appears to be good. Yeah, it appears to be fine. Maybe I can crank up things a little bit. No, let's keep it like this. Yeah. So 900p low is the way to get 60s on the 570. Although again, as you can see, the frame times are inconsistent. Let me show you that in a demanding place. Thanks, Sashi, I appreciate that. So this is the more demanding part. There are more effects, stuff going on. So let's fight. And as you can see here, we're into the 60s. So yeah, I would say the 570 for 60 frames. Just do 900p load. The game still looks good, but you can get 60 frames. Again, the frame times, not good. I rather lock it to 60 with Riva Tuner, if you got the option. But again, on low settings, it still looks pretty good. Which I like when developers are smart with graphics. When it doesn't look like a PS2 game on low settings. That's what I like seeing. Smart graphics. Yeah, and the art also helps with the low resolution, yeah. But as you can see, it drops below 60 on the cutscenes. When I'm controlling the game, it's mostly over 60 with these settings. I got a PS5 but don't have the money to buy the game this month, lol. Yeah, it happens. Same happens when you buy a PC. You spend all your money on your computer and oh man, I don't have any games. Alright, so what my advice would be in this case, again, go to Riva Tuner, the program that comes with MSI Afterburner. This one. And here I have a hotkey to lock the frame rate, but you can lock it to basically whatever you want. Write 60 there. So do that. Press on the hotkey to lock it to 60. And that's how you do it. You lock it to 60. Frame times are smooth, 16.6 milliseconds. So plus Riva Tuner 60 FPS lock. And that should be pretty solid. Let's do this one more time. Let's go to that place. So as you can see there, this with VSync on, adaptive VSync, should be pretty smooth across the board. Look into 69. Nice. Nice. But as you can see, yeah, in the cutscenes it drops. Really, who cares if it drops in cutscenes? We are not controlling the game there. Come on, attack me. Yeah, the loading times are pretty quick. Yeah, I'm on an SSD though. This is not a hard drive, this is an SSD. But there are games where you have an SSD and the game doesn't care, so... yeah. Cutscenes are only 60, which is fine. Yeah, cutscenes are... I mean, you're not controlling the game. So it shouldn't be an issue, in my opinion. I kinda regret investing in a 1070 a few years ago. Pascal GPUs on the X12 are a bad joke. Well, you couldn't have known back then. I mean, you just got unlucky in that regard. Is it NVMe or SATA SSD? It's an NVMe. But it's one of the slowest NVMEs, which is a little bit faster than the SATA drives. But it's not a high-end SSD. I think it's in the description listed. But yeah, NVMe drive probably below 500 megabytes per second. But still much faster than a hard drive. So yeah. But again, if you want 60 frames, this will be my choice. Lock it to 60 with Riva Tuner, put it on low, the game still looks pretty good. And you get those butter smooth frame rates. How long does it take to beat this game? I don't know.
Follow it.
I should look that up.
Maybe it'll lead us to Taro.
See, another fight. Let's save before the fight starts, so I have something else to benchmark on. Let's fight. Yeah, even fighting seems to be fine. Like this. Sorry to online close friend is quicker than just loading into online. What do you mean? What are those random words put together? Really disappointed about the performance. I think it's fine, considering the visuals. I think it could have been worse. What disappoints me about the performance is that if you don't lock the frame rate to something like 60 or 30, well, you're going to be on a stutter fest. I mean, look at this. If I unlock the frame rate, that frame time. Look at that frame time. Yeah, frame times are inconsistent with unlocked frame rates, so lock it to 30 or 60.
Look, Kana, I know what that is. It's a forest here.
So yeah, anyway. Let's do ultra settings now. But we're lowering those textures to high. Thank you very much. So 900p ultra. And let's load the save file. Oh, you was discussing... Oh, GTA 5. Okay, never mind. Never mind then. Apologies for interrupting then. Okay, so this is 900p ultra settings. Let's see if it stays over 30. But again, if you don't lock the frame rate to something, the frame time won't be nice with you. Yeah, ultra seems to be fine. Although maybe later in the game when you have more rot on the screen, you gotta lower the rot quality. The rot amount, sorry, not the rot quality. Stable for gamepad, yeah. Yeah, for gamepad is fine. Although this is not a game I will play with mouse and keyboard, personally. So yeah, I think you have enabled enhanced sync. Yeah, I did. But that's just for visual purposes, for you guys to not see screen tearing. Because it's pretty annoying to see it on a live stream. Okay. So it's fine. Ultra settings 900p. Completely fine. So yeah. Good stuff. So 900p, low settings for 60 frames, ultra settings for 30. Again, lock it to 30 frames to avoid that stutter. Let me see how the in-game FPS counter, how the FPS limit in the game works. Yeah, no, not good. Not a good 30 frames lock from the game itself. So guys, again, if you are locking the game to 30, do not use the in-game FPS limit. It's not good. Use Turner. That one gives you a flat 16.6 milliseconds. So just zoom in here into Turner. 30. Get back into the game. Lock the frame rate, and boom. Consistent 33.3 milliseconds. And that's how you make the game feel like on the consoles. Butter smooth, 30 frames. With a controller. Without a controller, well, it's probably not going to be smooth for you. So yeah, let's load the other save. so we can have some extra combat. Still okay for 588 gigs? Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, Riva Tuner is god tier. Yeah, I mean, look at that consistent frame time. Delicious. Delicious consistent frame times. Yeah, that's what I really like about Riva Tuner, that you can get a pretty consistent 30 using their locking, FPS locker, or whatever. Yeah, look at that stable line, 33.3. Real men have a strike frame time graph. Kids play at unlocked frame rates with unstable frame times. Men play with a straight frame time line. The graph doesn't move. Oh, what's the FPS on 1080p medium? On 1080p medium to high, it was over 30 all the time. So you can apply this logic to 30 frames on 1080p as well. Anyway. I'll do 720p very quickly. Personally, I don't care too much about 720 on this card, because it can do the other resolutions pretty well. But we gotta do what we gotta do. So we quickly do 720. Okay, on Ultra is over 30 frames, to be expected. On 900p the same happened. And if I lower the motion blur, the depth of field, the volumetrics, the shadows, basically high settings, low volumetrics. Yeah, it's 60. So 720p, if you want 60s at 720p, you can do high settings, low volumetrics. And that should do. That will give you over 60 all the time, probably. Which I forgot to try. So yeah, at 720p, high settings, low volumetrics, should be good. Most of the time. Lock it to 60 with Riva Tuner. Do yourself a favor, please. 300 IQ, buy a 40 inches 720p monitor. Hell yeah. If you're away from the monitor, that's not a bad idea at all. I have a 720p TV. I use it to play games on a budget PC. I mean, I just sit in the couch, so it still looks good enough, in my opinion. And games run so well. I mean, imagine the Steam Deck on that tiny screen. That would be nice for 720p. How many FPS does volumetric lighting lose? A lot. It's a pretty demanding option. So yeah. You just need to play 10 meters away and you're good. No, 10 meters is too much. I would say 1.5 meters, I think, is good enough. But that's just me. Anyway. 1440p. Let's try 1440. On 1440p, I'm aiming for 30. Without a doubt. So at 1440p, I'm doing... Let's do high settings. High settings. What else? Medium volumetrics. Yeah, high settings, medium volumetrics. Let's see how it goes with that setting. That should do. And motion blur on high, on medium. And rot on medium as well. Like this. Let's see if that gives us 30 frames. Okay. It seems to be 30 frames. And it looks super sharp. Although I'm not sure this is 1440p actually. Let me restart the game just in case. Now let's put the desktop resolution at 1440p. You never know. just to be sure. On my 1080p 24-inch, I stay away at the distance. That's a good one, Fallen God. I do the same. I do the same. Alright. So 1440p. High settings, medium volumetrics. Okay, yeah, definitely 1440p. How about 4K ultra maximum settings on GT 100? Sure, why not? Okay, yeah, 1440p is fine. Although uses a lot of VRAM. Yeah, although I'm not entirely sure. I'm not 100% sure that it's 1440p. Let me check super quick how 1080p performs. So 45 FPS here on 1440p and on 1080p. Yeah, it's not 1440p. Too good to be true. Yeah, I imagined that was the case. More or less full screen. That's how you do it then. Yeah, I imagine that wasn't 1080p. Nice trick, game. I don't fall for your tricks. Now we're on actual 1440p. Yeah, it happens sometimes that you get the wrong resolution. So 1440p, medium to high, medium volumetrics. Okay, yeah, now it looks much sharper, without a doubt. 30 frames per second. Yeah, makes more sense now. But still, 30 frames on the 570. I think I'll do the X11 on this one. So we have a couple extra frames. On the X12, it helps the CPU, but it uses more GPU. And on the X11, it seems to be using less GPU, but more CPU. But since we're targeting 30, it's fine. Look at those tiny pixels! Oh my god! I remember the 16-bit days when 25 FPS was the gold standard. Yeah, good times. Good times. Alright. Now on the X11, let's see if we can get over 30 consistently in this part. So bien inside, show bien, boss. Still very playable at 1440p, yeah. Yeah. Huh, on the 570 the X11 is not good, apparently. Well, it has to load the shaders for the first time. Okay. Yeah, 1 or 2 extra frames. Although the X12 seems to be more consistent. Yeah, let's do low volumetrics, medium shadows, and the X12. And the 570 seems to be better on the X12 overall. Whoa, I crashed the game, 1 sec. So 1440p, high settings, low volumetrics, mid shadows. The X12. That's a long name for this setting, but this is probably what I would use if I wanted the most out of the image. Generally, Nvidia does better in the X11 and AMD in the X12. Yeah, generally, but not always. It depends. Okay, yeah, this is a lot better now. Without a doubt. I'll just lock it to 30 with Riva Turner to get 33.3 milliseconds thing. Frame time, not thing. Asynchronous compute, yeah. Love asynchronous compute. Okay. Attack! Okay, yeah, when effects show up, it starts dropping again. But it's 1440p on a 570. I mean, I'm still impressed. Let's lock the frame time. The frame rate, better said. There we go. Lock 30s. Delicious. So this is 30 FPS cap. Private Santa. So you can do this. Lock it to 30, some drops into the 20s when effects show up. But I mean, if you use the FPS lock from Riva Tuner, just lock it to 30 and enjoy the visuals. It looks super sharp. And on the cutscenes it drops into the mid-20s, but in cutscenes you're not controlling the game, so yeah. Yo diría, Carlos, unos 15 frames más en la 590. Does this look better than Vanguard? That's a completely different game and art style, so I cannot really compare that. Okay, let's go back to the other fight. Does the XL has better visuals than the X11? No. Visually they are the same. What is different is how they talk to the hardware. How the software interacts with the hardware, basically. Anybody else? It looks a little worse than Roblox. That's a good one. So yeah, if you want the highest resolution possible, 1440p, you can do it at 30 frames. This game has slightly better graphics than ET from the Atari 2600. Hell yeah. A man of culture, I see. Alright. Yeah, no, not a good place to fight at. Next, GT 1030 at 4K. Hell yeah. The XL or Vulkan for AMD. It depends on the game. But Vulkan really works well on the AMD graphics cards I've been using.
Look, Kana, I know what that is. It's a forest here. Whoa, look what happened to the rod. He's so cute. Look at him go.
Yeah, they are cute. Cute AF.
Does he know any tricks, Kana?
Come on, this way. Destroy the door. Let's keep going, come on. Open the door for me. Nice. Let's save the progress once more. So we got something else for next time.
Over here, Kana.
Oh, yes, it stands, I would say 1440p high settings, low volumetrics, medium shadows on the X12 with a 30 frames per second cap with Riva Tuner. You can do the best visual. The highest resolution is this one that you can do with these settings. So yeah, not bad. Yeah, PS4 Pro settings, maybe a little bit. Yeah, it could be pretty close to PS4 Pro actually. Wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, let's get back to 1080p super quickly for the next GPU, the 1650 Super, which I'm guessing since it's an Unreal Engine 4 game, ultra settings is probably going to be okay. Unreal Engine 4 games in general on Nvidia cards are faster in general, depends on the game. But this one seems to be one of them, so let's find that out. Time to swap GPUs. So we shut it down. I'm back into the studio. Let's swap to the 1650 Super and then the 750 Ti. If you want to see 570 or 1050 Ti, rewind the live stream. It's there. $1650 Super, here we go. Alright, let's go. You don't care to run benchmark? No, it's not a benchmark run. The benchmark option in the menu just auto detects the settings for the game, which really is not doing a good job at it. But it's not a benchmark tool. It's like, okay, do automatic settings for my hardware. But the game always gets it wrong, so kind of a waste. I mean, on the 1050 Ti, I pressed that button and the game said, oh, you should use ultra settings, and it was on a 1050 Ti, so it didn't make a lot of sense. Alright, we should be back into the PC now. So now we're using a 1650 Super. And status will be 1080p Ultra. And there's no audio, one sec. There we go. Ever blown up a GPU? I don't remember. Yeah, I broke a GPU once, a GTX 450. I remember that I was pissed that it didn't work correctly. So, hang on. It didn't load up my GPU. My GPU on MSI Afterburner, I mean. Alright. That should load it up. Here we go. 1650 Super, 1080p Ultra. As you can see here, everything cranked up, textures on high, only 4 gigs of VRAM, so I'm gonna take the advantage. And again, run benchmark. Runs a benchmark on your hardware to determine the recommended quality settings. You press that and it says, okay, use Ultra. So it doesn't make sense. Here we go. Do you run DDU after every card swap? No, but after every live stream I do run DDU. Okay, Ultra settings. Yeah, I'll probably lock it to 30. But as you can see on Ultra settings 1080p, I'm getting over 30 frames per second. But again, like on the other cards, a lot of stutter, especially when you first launch the game. Yeah, hang on. It hard locked to 20. Something happened there. Let's see if it stabilizes. Yeah, I think it's loading the shaders. Yeah, I think it's the volumetrics. Yeah, definitely the volumetrics. Let's lower the volumetrics to medium. Or is it the post-processing? No, I'm guessing the volumetrics, yeah. Medium volumetrics. Yeah, there. It was the volumetrics. Oh man. Super demanding in this game. Yeah, it was the volumetrics. Sometimes it happens that they are so hard on the GPU that it hard locks. And what's happening with the audio? What the hell? Sorry guys. Something went wrong with the audio. Yeah, something broke with the audio. Let me restart the game. What the heck? So as I was saying, volumetrics there did make a difference. But I don't know what happened to the game. Maybe... Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, the game died. Yeah, but it's back. Let's try again with volumetrics on the highest. Let's make the GPU cry. Yeah, it gave up. It said, okay, I'm not doing those volumetrics. Screw you, Santiago. No more volumetrics for you. Although now I cranked it up again. I'm guessing it's... Maybe the textures are not on high. No, they are. Let's see if I can replicate. Oh, now it's fine. Yeah, it was because it was loading the assets for the first time, I'm guessing. But volumetrics on high is pretty demanding, as you can probably notice. Yeah, it's dropping into the 20s. Yeah, don't bother with volumetrics on high. Put it on medium and you're good to go. Yeah, definitely. Although, again, the frame times, not good. Bad frame times. Sí, sombras en high da más FPS. Sí, pero acá estamos probando ultra. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here with that. Let's try the X11. Maybe that helps. Although before the X11, let's try and get 60 frames. I'm kind of confused with the volumetrics there. Something is off. So medium shadows, low volumetrics, and the rest on high. Let's see if that gives us 60 frames. But sometimes the X12 has that issue. Okay. Still, yeah, probably low settings for 60 frames. Although again, on low settings still looks good, so... Okay. Yeah, you can do low settings to be over 60. But again, frame times are kind of all over the place. We're trying the X11 after this, but if you play on low, you can do 60 frames. On 1080p. On the 570, I needed 900p to do so. So it's a nice improvement over the 570. So yeah, we're doing the X12 in a minute. Let me run this at 60 frames for a bit. And we do the X12. The X11, sorry. Okay. Yeah, not bad. Still, on the cutscenes it drops pretty low. Not sure why. Yeah, it drops more than on the 570. So again, we're doing the X11, don't worry guys. The 570 was worst performance, yeah it was. To get these numbers on the 570, I needed to play on 900p. And here we're doing 1080p, so... Although on this one, well, aiming for 60 frames, the frame times seem to be a little bit more consistent. But still inconsistent, if that makes any sense. So let's load another fight. Now the 570 runs it slower, guys. Again, for the 570, if I did 1080p low, it ran at 50 with drops into the 40s. So to get these numbers again on the 570, I needed to use 900p. This is 1080p. Does the game allow you to lock the frame rate to 30? Yes, but it's not a good method. It's pretty inconsistent. So use Riva Turner to lock the frame rate to 30. That should give you the best results. So yeah, you can do 1080p 60 if you want to. The game still looks pretty good, not gonna lie, the visuals hold up, even on low. But lock it to 30, lock it to 30. Lock it to 60 using Riva Turner. So you get a consistent frame rate, frame time. Well, frame rate and frame time. But as you can see, yeah, you can do 60s on 1080p. Can you please try the same game on Xbox Series S? No, I can't because this game is not on Xbox, it's only on PlayStation and PC. So if it ever comes out on the Xbox, we're trying it out.
He's so cute. Look at him go.
But right now,
Kana?
that's not a thing, unfortunately. Anyway, let's try DX11. On DX11, I'm guessing that in the bad parts about performance, it's going to be better. But then when I'm aiming for 60, it's going to be more stutter. So, yeah. Santiago, does VRR work on Series S? Yeah, it does. It does work. Variable refresh rate, you mean? Yeah, it does work. I tried it on 1080p, but there's very few games where I could try it out. I tried it on Flight Simulator, and it did work pretty well. But it's only one game, so who knows on the other games. Low settings here is like high settings 5 years ago. Yeah, true. That's insane. Okay, DX11. Let's load those shaders. Okay. Let's see once we do the fight. It appears to be better than DX12 so far, actually. On this one. Although, yeah, those big spikes in the frame time are noticeable. Yeah, it seems to be better on the X11 so far, at least on this card. I was expecting a lot more stutter. And while it still stutters, it's not nearly as bad as on the X12. So on the 1650 Super, maybe use the X11. Yeah. Without a doubt. Okay, neat. Let's do to another fight. Yeah, the game looks good, I agree. And this is low settings. I mean, how? How is this low settings? I'm gonna try the 750 Ti. Yeah, after this one, we're doing 750 Ti, the legendary graphics card from 2014. And I'm guessing it's going to work right away because it has the X11. That's usually good business for the 750 Ti. And considering how good it looks on low, I'm guessing we're going to have a good time. Yeah, guys, definitely use the X11 on the 1650 Super. Maybe the X12 if you are seeing worse frame times, but frame times overall appear to be better on the X11. There are some spikes, but overall I feel like it plays better in this case on the X11. Alright. Good job. Okay, let's try now the highest settings. But we lower those textures. Let's see if it breaks the frame rate like on the X12. So this is ultra settings.
I know what that is. It's a forest here.
Ultra, 1080p ultra. Yeah, whatever. Let's go.
Whoa!
Let's wreak havoc.
He's so cute. Look at him go. Does he know any tricks, Kana?
There we go. Open the gates. Yeah, on the X11 it seems to be more stable so far. This game has DLSS? I don't think so. But I mean, you can force... It's not DLSS, it's not the same, but you could do FSR on this one with Magpie or lossless scaling.
Right there.
Put the object here, please. So cute, holy hell.
Hey, the little rock guys did it. They made another one.
Alright. Let's wreak havoc again. And we're going to do the other fight we did before. So just allow me 1 second to destroy all these plants. Oh, one more left. Yeah, let's save here. And we load the demanding part. Lossless scaling is not working normally. Games become very unresponsive. Thanks for the heads up. Good to know that the free option is better. Alright. So the frame times again, super inconsistent. Lock it to 30 with Rapid Turner and you're good to go. But yeah, DX11 superior in this game for this card. So if you have an Nvidia GPU, consider DX11 on this one. On the 570, DX12 was better for me, but yeah, no 20 FPS lock on DX11, it's fine. And the game loads pretty quick, yeah. It doesn't look so much better than low. Well, yeah. I mean, it has better shadows, higher resolution shadows, better shadow draw distance, but it's hidden pretty well. And the grass looks lower resolution, but I mean, overall, the game itself looks pretty good, even on the lowest. So again, the developers did a great job of balancing the settings, I would say. So yeah, it's fine. But again, my advice, lock it to 30 with Rapid Turner, and you should be good to go. Like that. Plus 30 FPS cap, Rapid Turner. And as you can see there is locked 30 with 33.3 milliseconds, so the frame time graph is almost flawless. So yeah. Esa frames parece un electrocardiograma, sí, tal cual. Por eso lo arreglamos. So yeah. Pretty good, some spikes here and there, but way better than unlocking the frame rate. In this game, unlocking the frame rate means stutter fest. So yeah, let's load back up the part we were at. There we go. Okay. Thanks for the points. Hey, Hadian Alfaridzi. How's it going, man? Is this full price on Epic? I don't think it's full price. I think it's $40, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this game is not full price. I think it's 40. ¿Vas a testear World War Z? Sí, Ignacio, sí, voy a hacer eso. Pronto. Calculo que a las 4 de la tarde. Guys, in around 3 hours, 2-3 hours, I'm going to be testing World War Z Aftermath. So, yeah. Expect me in a couple hours doing yet another live stream, testing video games. I mean, World War Z Aftermath graphically seems to be the same as its predecessor, but it has a FSR option, so it will be interesting to check that out. Does it run better on the 570? No, in the 570 it runs worse, but both are acceptable. Okay, yet another fight. Hell yeah. I'm saving that progress. So yeah. Let's do now 1440p. So I gotta quit the game. Put the screen at 1440p. Oh. Is it there? No. Gotta enable DSR. Is Aftermath a sequel or just updated World War Z? Aftermath and World War Z is basically World War Z with 2 new locations, which means 8 more levels. So there's 2 new places, basically 2 new countries, but each of them has 4 episodes, so you got 8 more maps, but the rest is the same game as World War Z. It's basically World War Z with a first-person mode, and 2 more locations, and that's about it. So yeah, there were some tweaks to the gameplay, but that applies to every owner of World War Z, and also there's now FSR. So yeah, what was I looking for? Oh yeah, DSR. So we force 1440p. What kind of setup do you actually play with, like off stream? I use a Ryzen 5 3600 and a 1650 Super. So this is basically the computer I will use, something similar to this, to play games. But nowadays I'm mostly playing on the Xbox Series S because I have it hooked to a TV. And I usually like to play outside of here where I record. If not, I feel like I'm working or something. I don't know. Kind of weird. So this will be 1440p high, medium volumetrics. I'm guessing this will be 30 frames. So yeah, let's see. 1440p, window full screen, because if not, at least in my computer, doesn't load up. So yeah, 1440p, medium volumetrics, high settings, and that should do. Let's do it once more, and we do the 750 Ti, because we've been 2 hours streaming this. Did you think about getting the 2060 Super? Yeah, I've been thinking about getting a 2060, but I sold one a few months ago. Okay, it's using a lot of VRAM. I think I might need to lower those textures, yeah. Textures on medium. So yeah, that should help me out. Yeah, 1440p uses a lot more VRAM. Alright, that's better. Is there stuttering? Yes, there is, but the frame time is pretty spiky. So usually the solution in this case is locking the frame rate to 30, in this case in particular, but if you're playing at 60 frames, then the solution is lock it to 60. There are stutters here and there, but nothing like Jedi Fallen Order. It's a classic Unreal Engine stutter thing issue, but you can prepare for it by locking the frame rate, so it's less apparent, if that makes any sense. Imagine one day Santi said, hey guys, I bought a 3090 and he's now doing high-end tests. No, that's not happening. High-end tests are boring. If I ever get a 3090, it's to run the videos faster, but that's about it. I once got a 1080 Ti, I remember, back then. And it was so boring having a high-end GPU. Boring as hell. So yeah, as you can see, like this, 1440p high, medium volumetrics, and medium textures, you get over 30 frames. And to fix that spiky frame time, open RevaTuner and lock it to 30 frames, like this. So this is RevaTuner 30 FPS lock. And this should give you the best visuals. By best visuals, I mean the highest resolution. Lock at 30 frames per second, and if you want 60, just lower it to the lowest on 1080p, and you're good to go. Visually, it still holds up. So yeah. Speak for yourself. What do you mean? Oh, yeah. I speak for myself, of course. I mean, doing videos on high-end stuff is boring. Boring as hell. Because there is nothing special. You know it works. Come on. gun reduced to atoms. Is it on i3 10100F? Yeah, i3 10100F. Very nice. I am never surprised when I boot up a game. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the boring part for me. If I boot up a game and I don't have to touch anything, well, that's boring in my book. But that's because I like technical stuff. So it's more of a personal thing. Now that you said it, you're right. Budget stuff is interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because you gotta do stuff to make it work. It doesn't work right away. You need to do something to make it work. Like this, locking it to 30 with an external program, finding out which are the demanding options. I can do that because I have budget stuff. I mean, if I didn't have a 1050 Ti, maybe I couldn't even notice that volumetrics is the most demanding option. You usually get more insight in how the game works. Any chance to switch another emulators later? Yeah, later on. Not now. Too many new games. But yeah, that's coming eventually.
Tina, there's something in the ground. I bet a forest deer can grow here.
Right over there.
Yeah, bring me that over, please. Right there. Could you play any games Xbox Series S with keyboard and mouse? Yeah, you can play Warzone, Sniper Elite 4, Zombie Army 4. I don't remember which others. Well, Fortnite works. The Call of Duty games, some of them. It's pretty hit or miss, the mouse and keyboard support, but I mean, it's a console. I'm not expecting mouse and keyboard support at all. So it's nice to have in some games, yeah. But still not the norm. Hopefully more games support mouse and keyboard eventually. Anyway. That is it for the 1650 Super. Let's do the 750 Ti. Here we go. Oh, S. Here we go again. I'm going to be doing 720p right away on the 750 Ti. Not going to take any chances of crashing. And I'm going directly to low settings. Thank you very much. Yeah, that should do. Only high motion blur, because I'll lock it to 30 frames. But that's about it. Anyway. 1 second, guys. Swapping GPUs. Come on, let me turn off the PC. Okay. It doesn't show up any image. I shut it down manually. Here we go. 750 Ti. The legendary graphics card from 2014. Here it goes. Let the legend come back to life. Hopefully it works. I'm guessing it will, but hey. 2 hours late to the stream, but hi. Hi, welcome back. How well with the 1060 be? The 1060 should be similar to what I got here, yeah. I'm guessing a few extra frames and higher texture options. So yeah. What camera are you using? I'm using a C922X. It's a Logitech. It's like the C920, but it has a 720p 60Hz mode, which I'm not using. So yeah. Basically, a C920. It's in the description. One second, it's installing is refreshing the drivers. What settings are the most demanding? I'm trying to get some FPS back so I can hit 120. Lower the volumetrics and the shadows. Those are the two most demanding ones in this game. And keep the rest on high. But it's difficult to increase the performance by just lowering settings on this one. This is more like, okay, if you lower volumetrics and shadows and that's not enough, well, lower the resolution. And that's kinda the way it goes. Yeah. Yeah, the 750 Ti, it's kinda loading the assets. Hang on. Give it some time. Be patient. It's old. How's the game? This is the first time I'm hearing about it. It's fun so far. Yeah. Pretty cute characters. And it mixes, in the artistic style, it mixes realistic effects with cartoons. So it's more like a Pixar film, but trying to be more realistic visually. I don't know. I think it has a good art direction, yeah. Pretty good. And there is, what's the name of this? And the combat, pretty familiar. Don't know why, but the combat feels familiar. Not sure why. Okay, there, it loaded, finally. Jesus Christ, I was scared. I thought it died. Okay, it booted. The PC, I mean. Okay. So this is the 750 Ti now. Again, if you want to see any of the other cards, rewind the live stream. So 720p low. Right away. I'm not taking any chances with crashing. How much rating that you give this game? I only played a couple hours and I played the same sections over and over, so I don't know yet. But I like the combat, I like the graphics. I want to check out the story a little bit more. I know nothing about the story because I skipped everything. But I like that combat that it has a mix of, okay, you have this creature besides you that has a charge. I don't know, I like how you defeat the enemies with a mix of magic and normal hand-to-hand combat. Okay, low settings, 720p, DX11. You see it here. Let's give it a shot. It's doing 1080p just fine. Okay, we'll see. I start with 720 nowadays on this card, just in case. Okay, 35 frames. Yeah, no 1080p. No thanks, I'm good. It already gets 30 frames at 720p low, so 720p it is. Maybe 900p with some overclock, but that's about it. I gotta load the assets, so the first time is going to stutter a little bit, but still. 750 Ti, legendary card from 2014, runs a PS5 game. Heck yeah. As you can see, pretty incredible that I can do this actually. If you bought this graphics card back in 2014, well, you got more than your money's worth. If you kept your monitor, your 720p monitor from back then, you're probably going to have a good time. But it's completely fine. Although, yeah, in cutscenes it drops below 30 sometimes, yeah, like here. But it's a cutscene, so, you know. PS4 is 30 frames too. Yeah, but the PS4 is probably 1080p. I'm guessing. So yeah, good stuff, actually. Yeah, the 750 Ti is the king. Yeah, the legendary card. Alright. Let's do more fighting. Hola, Perry Mason, ¿todo bien? Alright, let's see. Another day, another fight. You almost sold your 750 Ti. Well, now it's a good time if you want to sell it. If you have another GPU already, you should be able to sell it at a good price. GPUs are in demand. But still, I'm impressed that you can run this game. GTX 1030 is lower than 750 Ti. Yeah, it is. It is. But I might be doing a video separately for the 1030. I gotta do World War Seeds. Although I should inform myself better for the World War Seeds live stream, so I can explain you guys what's the difference between the base game and Aftermath. But yeah, in a few hours I'm doing World War Seeds Aftermath. How do you like the game so far? I like it. I think it's pretty good. For the little I played of it, I love the visual style, I love the gameplay, this thing that third-person combat, but you got an extra creature to do so. Super cute characters. I mean, again, like I said in my first impressions when I started the live stream, it feels exactly like a game I would have played in my childhood. I loved it. An adventure game from my childhood. It feels something like that. That's kind of how it feels for me. And again, visually, super good even on low settings. It holds up on low.
I bet a forest too can grow here.
And yeah. I think I'll play it to the end. We'll see at the end of the year. This might be on my top games. I'm super into this style of game. What GPU do you usually use on your GPU? The GPU I usually use is the 1650 Super on my main computer. But that's about it. I don't need anything faster right now. I tried on 2060, really nice game. Good to know, man. Enjoy. 750 Ti. Looks like I won't kick the bucket just yet. Call an ambulance, but not for me. Believe it or not, in my country a 2060 is more expensive than an Xbox Series X. Same. Well, they are the same price in my country actually. Almost the same price. So I do believe you, mister. Review this game after you finished it? Nah, I'm not a review type of guy. I'm more of a performance looker than a reviewer. And it would take too much work. I don't know, I'm not good at explaining myself when it comes to if I like a game or not. I'd rather watch ACG. Do you like cute games? Sometimes. Depends. In this case, yeah, I'm into it. Depends on the art style. Because there's another kind of cute game called Lake, where you deliver packages, and it has a cute art style. But it feels too rigid. This one feels like a Pixar animated film. Lake doesn't. So I don't know, that kinda, again, reminds me of my childhood, but that's about it. Oh man. Whoa. Come on. Destroy them. Need your help, Rot. Impressive for the old 750, yeah, hell yeah. Incredible. I still cannot believe it runs. ¿Podrás probar 900p? Sí. Sorry. Yeah guys, we're doing 900p. Give me 1 sec. Let me save my progress. And I reload the save. There we go. So again, the demanding part I found was close to the beginning. Is this a strand type game? No, this is not a strand type game. You do more than just walking around. 900p. I might need to overclock for 30 frames, but hey, gotta try it. So 900p low. There we go. So let's see how it goes. Let's disable motion blur for this one. Okay, 27 frames. Definitely needs an overclock. So we're doing that. It goes up to 30 sometimes, but an overclock seems to be necessary. So let's do 175 megahertz to the core and 400 megahertz to the video memory. This is the overclock I've been using since 2014 to get a few extra frames. So 900p low, 750 Ti overclock. So wish me luck. Oh, hang on. There we go. Is overclocking safe? For me, yes. I mean, I haven't been touching voltages on this card because it doesn't make sense for such a little performance increase. So 900 megahertz, low settings, and I put those settings because I used them since day one. Okay, now 32 frames. Yeah, it's an improvement. So as I was saying, I use those settings right away because I know those are stable on my card. So yeah, with those settings you can use 900p. With those settings, with that overclock. Yeah, you can do 30 frames on 900p if you overclock the card. Which again, shouldn't be difficult, but you never know what numbers you're going to get, so yeah. As long as it's stable and you know it's stable, you can do it. But I know those numbers are stable, that's kind of the difference. Would you drop the 750 Ti or keep it? I'll keep it. It's a legendary card. It's a piece of history. But who knows what will happen in the future. Hopefully I don't need to get rid of it, but one day it will stop running games. Imagine, Microsoft releases DirectX 13. Well, in that case, maybe I'm dropping it, yeah. Who knows. Can you tell us which websites you use to get codes from devs? Those are not websites. In general, those are emails. So do not rely on websites for review codes. You should email the PR team of the publisher, describe in simple words what you do, what you want to code, what you're going to do with the code if you get one, and they will answer you or not. I mean, they started answering my emails a year ago, so I was over 100k subs and they didn't care much. So I had to contact a lot of developers. Sometimes you do not get answers, so you gotta be patient with codes. I'm a proud owner of a 750 Ti. Yeah, the day it stops working, I'm going to put it on the wall to display it. Because I started the channel with that GPU. I mean, if you watch my first videos with an FPS counter, are on the GTX 450, but the 750 Ti was what made me start making videos consistently. So yeah. Yeah, big channels get more codes, yeah, but in general, you gotta be trying to find contact information because they do not respond to the support emails in general. You have to send an email to a press email. Sometimes they do not answer your message, so you gotta be patient and keep trying. But do not expect a free code every time. So nobody owns you a code, that's what I'm trying to say. I've been getting very lucky that I got the contact for the publishers. But in general, yeah, you do not get a code. I've been pretty lucky lately, but that's about it. I've been lucky. This game still looks beautiful on very low settings. Yeah, it still holds up. Again, what I said before, the developers really do know
I
the
know what that is. It's a
how to do smart graphics. Which means it looks good
Whoa,
even on the lowest settings.
he's so cute. Look at him go.
Alright. Could I get the code with my 800 subs? Yeah, you can. It all depends on the code availability from the publisher and the explanation you want to give them on why you want to cover the game and what you're doing with it. I mean, back when I had 1,000 subs, I got a code for Deus Ex Human Revolution, I think. No, sorry, 10k subs. I got a code for Deus Ex. Before release, I was shocked. It was the first time I got a code. But I got to play... Sorry, not Human Revolution, Mankind Divided. I got to play Deus Ex Mankind Divided because I sent an email and asked nicely for a code. And they gave me a code before release. It was insane. I was playing the game a week early. It was insane. So you never lose anything by trying. But again, do not forget, nobody owns you a code. You're requesting it to cover it, but they do not owe you anything. You're just asking nicely. Okay, this part is pretty demanding with the rain. But overall, pretty good.
What happened? What did you see when you...
Taro is here, but he's forgotten.
Yeah, Taro is here. Yeah, whatever.
Maybe
Let's
Mr.
move.
Russo can help us.
Let's go to his house. Gotta save my progress again. But yeah, so far so good. No complaints for the 750 Ti. With the overclock in place, you can do 30 frames on 900p. Is this game open world? Good question. Not entirely sure. I should check that out. But why does it matter if it's open world or not? I think it is, now that you mention it. Although it feels more like connected corridors, like Tomb Raider 2013 in that regard. Yeah, more like open spaces united by corridors. It feels that way. Oh, here you are. This is what I was talking about. So it seems to be, yeah, open. But it's more like, okay, there are corridors that connect bigger areas between them. More like a Metroidvania. Some places I could not access because I don't have the required skill. So it should be more like that, like big places united by corridors, as you can see. So yeah. Can I swim? Oh yeah, I can. Nice. But see these guys, this is what I was talking about when I was talking about smart graphics. Even on the lowest settings, there's screen space reflections. Usually in Unreal 4 games on low settings, you get no reflections whatsoever. So, psh, mind blown. Screen space reflections on low settings. That's insane. Do more videos with the Series S. Yeah, I'm doing that soon. On this game in particular, I cannot do it because it's not on Xbox. It's a PS5, PS4 and PC game at the moment. Unreal Engine 3? No. Unreal Engine 4. If you're playing most Unreal Engine 4 games that I played, if you lower the effects to the minimum, you get no screen space reflections whatsoever. The water looks like milk, basically, without reflections. So yeah, that was what I was trying to say. In general, when you lower games to the minimum, you get no reflections. And on this one, you do have reflections. Screen space reflections. So, pretty interesting. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. Again, on the 750 Ti, 720p low. And if you overclock, 900p low should do the job. So yeah, no PS5 yet. I do not have the funds to get one. But in the future, if everything goes right, I might. So thank you so much for watching this live stream, playing the game with me. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. Probably going to play this further hopefully until the end. I'm enjoying it so far. Even just moving around is satisfying. So yeah, totally my kind of game. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thanks again to Ember Lab for providing a code for the game. And I'll see you in a few hours with World War Z Aftermath. So thank you guys. See you later. Thank you. Bye bye. See you next time in a few hours. Thank you guys. Love you all. See ya.